Hello, this is Piedra Luna. This is the reading for Aries for the month of February for 2021 for your spiritual lessons. Like for the rest of the other signs, I'm dividing the sign into three different influences because each sign, apart from the ruling planet, like for in this case for Aries, which is the planet of Mars, there's also three more planets that have influence on each of the signs. And like the first influence is from the March 21st to March 30th, and those are the first 10 days of the influence of Aries. And that influence actually, well, in this case, this is for Mars. You actually have your ruling planet is Mars, and actually the other influence of your planetary influence is again Mars for you that are born from March 21st to the 30th. And the energy that we have here, and as well, if you haven't seen the other zodiac readings that I've been doing, actually the tarot cards are based on the astrological signs and the position of the planets and the influence for the entire 52 weeks of each year. So for you that are born during that time frame of March 21st to the 30th, the tarot cards that correspond to the spiritual lessons that you'll be overcoming in your life are going to be the same. Or of course there's just, of course, going to be different influences depending on the rest of your birth chart, your ascendants, the moon, or how the position of the planets on your entire chart. But in this case, like in general terms, your lesson here with the Emperor and the Two of Wands. The Emperor is the energy, of course, of Aries, and it's the ruler is Mars, and so the Emperor is a energy of boundaries, is of establishing your kingdom, it's of and most importantly, before you establish the kingdom outside, you must establish the kingdom inside of yourself. So you must first control your own self, your ego, and totally be the captain of your boat in order to become the emperor of your life. I mean, you must have already overcome different lessons from balancing your emotions to balancing your passions to balancing your earth energy, which would be how to grow things in a slow pace, but in a slow and steady pace, and as well as the swords energy, which will be your thoughts, and as well as the magician. So once you've overcome all the lessons of all the different energies of all the four kings, then you actually become the emperor. And that's one of the spiritual lessons that you have, is to attain that, to become the real ruler of your life, and but starting with your inner world, because there's the only real conquer in life is conquering oneself, right? Because if you are not conquering your inner self, then you are at the mercy of everything that goes around you. And that along with the energy of the Two of Wands, the energy of the Two of Wands are always about our passions, and of course Mars is a very fiery energy, being of course that Aries, the element of Aries is fire, and fire is about following our inspiration and manifesting it into real life. So the Two of Wands is about decisions. The Two of Wands is deciding sorry, if you stay with what you know, or if you go and travel and do the new thing you don't know. I mean, with the known and the unknown, and the world is in your hands, right? So it's that energy of those two cards actually is an energy of establishing your boundaries, of being assertive on the decisions that you make in life. This could be a challenge for you. It depends, of course, on which part of your life you are, and on the evolution of your soul and how many incarnations you have. But if it could be that this reflects that you have trouble establishing boundaries and making decisions because you don't want to let anybody down. You want to be the good person all the time. Or it could be that that you're right there. I mean, that you've mastered the lesson, and you're really good at making decisions that take you where you want to get, especially business or your life. I mean, the kingdom of your family, of your life, of your inner world, and of course of business, which is just as important. So going with the spiritual, and that's for you, like the general energy, like, but for the month of February, the lesson that we have for you, or the lesson that I'm seeing. And thankfully for Aries, I'm not holding the camera in my hand because I wanted to show everybody the cards closer, because I received a comment that the focus was very, very far away and you couldn't see them. Actually, these are teeny tiny cards. Like, these are, look, I mean, they're diminutive, and I love them because I like to use them, because actually I can see the drawings pretty well, just like any regular, on a regular deck, but also because I can actually see the whole month in a small space. So that's why I'm using them. And of course, I want you to learn more about the cards while we go through them, and you see which are the influence of the cards on the different parts of the month. So I got a new set to put my phone that is more flexible so that I can actually make more movement here. So, okay, so we go with the rest of the energy for you. Let's go with the first part. The first part, I see that during this month, and we have also, remember, the influence of the planets for overall influence for everybody. Of course, it does have a different influence on each individual, and it's also affected by the planet that is affecting your the time frame where you were born, inside of the Pisces. I mean, inside of the Pisces, inside of the Aries, because as well, you, if you haven't seen my videos before, as I said, each sign is divided into 3 sections of 10 days each, for a total of 30 days. Now, it doesn't start on day one like the months. As you know, like for Aries, the sign of Aries, it starts on March 21st and ends on April 19th. So that is just to give you, like, because this is the first time I'm doing these zodiac sign videos, and this is different because they're spiritual lessons. So that's why I'm giving you an introduction of how they are different from other tarot readings, and what to keep expecting from the next of the readings. So for the next month, of course, for you Aries. So what I see here is that, as I said, again, I'm divagating a little. We are doing a time frame between the energy of the star here, and let me show you. This is probably a bit too large for you to see here, but the energy of the star, this is right now the time that we are going through, and the star is hope, but it's actually the star. Let me just get the focus a bit so you can see the card. These are the energies that we have for this time. We have the star, and we have the 8 of Cups. So one is like Saturn, Uranus energy, and the other one is definitely Saturn. And this is an energy of thinking how our life, like how are we setting the course of our life, how we want to develop our life, where our dreams are, where our passions are, where our hopes are, and the things that we're walking away from, either things that we wanted to have in our life and that we had to walk away from, or the things that we need to walk away from in order to get to fulfill our wishes, or to get to that place where it feels like our happy place and we feel accomplished. So that's the and that also, of course, has to do with relationships as well, because we're in the month of February, and February has the strong energy of love, as well has the energy of is the second month of the year, and 2 is about union. So we're considering all our relationships, not only the romantic, but the ones with our family, with our own selves, and like just that universal feeling of love as well, not only the romantical one. So back again into what I feel that you're feeling during this time. I hope that, because I'm explaining so much about how I'm reading these zodiac signs, that it's because actually you're the kind of person that needs an explanation as to why this is the way it is, and not another way. So what I see is that you are, I think the clues of your reading, actually I get them like at the end, because I asked some questions about what's going on. I had some more like identifier energy to see what was going on in your life. And what I see are cards. Let me see if I can show you from here. No, actually not. But so I'm gonna get them closer to the camera. I promise I'm gonna get a handle of how to show these cards better without being confusing. Um, these are the cards that I'm concerned about. Not concerned, but that I think are the clue as to how you're feeling. Is that you're feeling with this card of the Ten of Wands, overwhelmed, um, overwhelmed because you feel like there's so much that you need to get done, and it takes you such a long time to get just one task done. So, and you're feeling very overwhelmed. You're probably doing a lot of things all at once. The other energy that I'm feeling is because I ask what is this, what is the people born during this time frame, what is it that is actually causing them this stress and that they're overwhelmed. And the cards that I get are the cards of Ten of Cups, which is also has Mars energy, and that has to do with the influence of your planet because you're born during the influence of Mars, actually. And the King of Cups, which can be an energy of the Sun as well as Saturn. So the King of Cups is combined with the Ten of Cups, and what I'm seeing for your energy is that I think you're feeling overwhelmed because you're giving a lot for your family, or not a lot. I mean, you're giving it everything to your family life, or this could be as well if you don't have family. This could be like your business that is like your family, and you're pretty overwhelmed about everything that needs to get done. I wouldn't be surprised because right now we're in pandemic and things are a bit more complicated than before the pandemic, and there's a lot of juggling of new things and uncertainty, and basically we're all living day by day with the new changes. So I'm not surprised, like, if kids can go to school, if they cannot go to school, if you have kids and you need to homeschool them. I mean, that's going to be quite heavy on you, and you're probably also working. So that's why I feel that you're very, very overwhelmed right now by all your responsibilities, and you want to be, and I didn't mention this, the King of Cups is also the energy of being the best person. I mean, of sacrificing yourself for others as well. Well, it depends on the cards that you have around it, but in this case, it does go in that sense of that energy, that you are really sacrificing yourself. It has this energy. The King of Cups has that energy of like Christ-like energy of sacrifice for others, for the betterment of everybody. So I think you've come to a moment where you're so burnt out that here, like right here, where you're feeling dissatisfaction, and it doesn't feel like there's a good that you're having a good balance, and you're having like feelings of maybe I see that you're really reminiscent of the times when you were able to have a lot of fun and not a bunch of responsibilities. I feel also that I had another sign that had this. It feels like all work and no fun makes Jack a dull boy. Like it's driving you a bit crazy, and you're feeling overwhelmed, and like you need vacations, you need some fun, and you're deciding how can you make it happen? How can you bring some sunshine into your life? Because you're really, really craving it. Um, you really need time for yourself, and just to do something that is not just for responsibility or work, but just for fun, recreation, and pleasure. And the lesson that I see here on regards to all this that you're going through, if I can, let's see if I can get this closer to the cards in a proper angle and not this weird angle. Okay, so the energies I get is the Devil, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Two of Lovers. Now, this could mean two different scenarios. I see here that you have a lesson not to fall into temptation, whatever temptation might be. Maybe in your work they ask you to do a special task, something that was really needed from you, and you decided instead of doing that to do something fun. Which is of course you need to have fun and recreate and enjoy life, and have just that time of bliss of not having to think about responsibilities or what time it is, and if you can fit your fun during in your very busy schedule. The lesson here for this month is Yes, of course, you need to have fun, but just make sure whoever's offering this fund is not offering you something that is going to be harmful for you in the long term, in regards to relationships. And this I mean by romantic relationships, or it could mean business, it could be your work as well. So just, you might be thinking how, because I think you feel even guilty about having fun, about doing something for yourself, because there's so much that you need to get done, that you feel like you need to do it like secretively, like you need to have fun secretively, because if not, you're betraying your family, or you're betraying the company, or you feel like every now we're doing, because we're going through harsh times, that you should be work work work. And you don't need that. I mean, you don't need to do have fun sneakily and in a sneaky way. And if it's a friend that is offering you, I don't know, like going to someplace you shouldn't be, someplace or something, they're gonna maybe offer you something that if someone close in your life, your wife, your husband, I don't know, your boss, knew about it, you wouldn't be able to defend it. If that is the case, if you're doing something that you cannot really defend with from the core of your heart, then don't do it. But that doesn't mean that you cannot have some like healthy fun, of course. And let's see the other cards. Again, I see the influence. Let me show you other um, the other cards I got just to get more of the energy of what was going for you on the month. And again, I got these two cards. Oh, no, actually, I need to get the phone higher so you can see the cards better, because these are teeny tiny and they don't fit in the frame. I mean, the other ones are larger and they don't fit in the frame. So again, I see here the energy of, I should put it here, okay, of the devil and family, like devil interfering with family, with responsibilities, with the security of your life. And because of this is the recommendation, and then I got here the devil once again on this little cards. I think again, just be careful whatever you're doing. Whatever, some friend that says, hey man, you've been working a lot, or hey girl, you've been working a lot, you deserve to have some fun. Just remember to do it in that it's something that you can defend, that, and it's not something that's going to get you in real trouble with family or business or something like that. For others of you, and of course, don't get like triggered if you're reading this. If this reading, you're listening to this reading because you want to know about the person that you care about. Remember that it doesn't necessarily. I mean, the energy can go any way, and of course, never take a reading to the T. Whatever you're given on the reading, you have to go in real life and see if the clues that it was giving you and the advice it was giving you, if it was actually related to your life, and if it was a good advice. You always have to be the one that to determine that if it resonates or if it doesn't resonate. Remember, again, I described it on another reading where I was describing the introduction of how tarot cards work, and the history of tarot cards and the mysticism and the secrets of tarot cards, is that in the Oracle of Delphi in Greece, uh, at the top of the Oracle of Delphi, where people came from long distances to ask their questions to the Delphi, to the psychic that could give them clues about their future, is that the most important thing, or before you get any kind of reading or oracle, is to know thyself. So you have to know thyself if this applies to your life or if it doesn't. And of course, just play it by ear as it goes. So that again, sorry, that PSA was to say, just be careful as well. Temptations could come in the shape of infidelity, like you've been tempted, or maybe someone from your past, someone with whom you had a juicy and saucy relationship comes back, and they, hey, what you're doing, and you kind of know in the bottom of the bottom of your head, or the back of your head, that is something probably you shouldn't be doing. So if that is the case, don't do it. Don't do it, because it's actually a test from negative influences. In this case, from vices. Remember, not to let, and this maybe is not infidelity your case, but don't let your vices or your ego destroy the harmony you have in your work life or your family life. And I believe that would be quite all. Actually, that's quite something for you for the month of February. 20 minutes. The other for the other influences of the sign, I usually just say 20. I just have a message for 10 minutes, but I guess yours was longer, so you needed to hear this. I hope it was of use, and if not, then you can check the other influences for the month of Aries, which are from March 31st to April 9, which is the one that I'm going to go ahead with right now. Okay, for you that are born under the sign of Aries, for the specific time frame from March 31st to April 9, you have the influence of the sun and the cards that represent that energy, or the influence of the planets during that time when you were born, and this is static for the rest of your life. Is the King of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. So that means these two energies either reflect your path in life, what you are going to encounter, what you're going to develop, or it's going to be a desire in your mind, is going to be something that you're going to work on throughout your life to achieve. So the sun, of course, and Mars, because of course we still are under the influence of Mars, because Aries is the overall ruler of Mars. And the sun, those of course are very powerful planets that together, along with the sign of Earth, are the ones that actually create tangible things. That's these, it could be either that you work in agriculture, forestry, it could be on real estate, anything that has to do with the land or with food, or with anything that has a structure, and you're taking care of the borders, you're taking care of the land, you're taking care of building an empire. This is a very, usually a card is a very good sign of success. It could mean also an influence of, you might have some um, uh, legacies or lands that come by in a will that somebody leaves to you. And the energy of the Three of Wands is the energy of waiting for your ships to come. Could be also a card of nostalgia, depending on the surrounding cards. It's a card of patience. You already set something in motion, and you're waiting for the results, and you're waiting for the ships to come with the news of what you've been planning and what you've been doing. So this are basically the two cards are cards of things that take a while to grow, because the energy is that of the earth and the sun, and whoever try to grow anything on their backyard, it takes patience, it takes time, but the of course the gift of your patience is that you actually are able to grow things that, from a little seed, from something small, you actually have a fruit and something that can sustain you, or something that you can sell, and it becomes a business. So that's kind of that energy. It's something that takes a while to develop, but long and steady wins the race, and you actually get good a good establishment in life, or that's where you're heading, or that's what you want, or maybe that's what you've experienced, or maybe that's what you were born into, stability, financial stability, or structure as well, or this sense as well, or you have this, might have had this sense of becoming an entrepreneur, opening up your business, or your family is known to have had a certain business for a long time, and that comes in your life like automatically. So it depends on your chart, of course, in your specific chart, your birth chart, and the influence of the other planets. But for the month of February 2021, the lessons that you have, that I see that you are going to experience or overcome, or that you should be cautious about, are the following. So we have here a line of cards that are maybe not the, let's see if I can put this, the lens in the right position. I see that there's been, for you this month, you have quite, it's a bit of a shaky month. There's probably conflicts about things that are no longer going to be, things that you're leaving behind. It could be change of job, change of place where you live, or it could be just decisions, big life decisions that are been taking place in your life, and that of course affect other people around you, because I see that there's these changes are creating conflict and antagonism, and maybe like this card is of the Five of Wands is when we say you have too many cooks in the kitchen, too many egos, and everybody wants to be the leader and nobody is um, actually getting anything done, or actually making it all worse. So maybe you have this feeling there's some sort of chaos going on about a certain situation that's been going on for a while, and it's already getting to its expiration date. I mean, the universe is basically bringing it all down because of something that needed a radical change in your life. And of course, if it resonates, you will know what I'm talking about. This is of course something that, as I said, is about to be over with, and that it's probably taking or draining you, taking energy from you, definitely, because there's like antagonistic energy going on about these necessary changes that are happening, or just drastic life changes. Could be anywhere in any place in your life. It could be maybe even from an existential crisis that you feel you need to make drastic changes during this time of February, and you're finding opposition with the people around you. They're not liking your suggestions as the things that you want to change. It could be as well maybe some, because after the cards that I see right after this ones are the following. Let's see if I have them in proper focus. Okay. Well, kinda. Still looking for the perfect sweet spot cell phone holder to do the readings. Okay. I guess some sort of situations, some like cell phone holders are better than others. I guess it's just a matter of having different ones and adapting them to what you need and the focus that you want to show. Okay, so I see that this changes that are going on in your life, this kind of conflict that I was referring to, and it's going to be different for everybody, and it could be something that is family oriented, or it could be something just individually that you're having an existential crisis and you want to do some drastic changes, and the people around you are not happy about it. I see that there's help that you're receiving on regards to this situation that is creating conflict. So you're not only getting like the conflict or the a bit of the energy of the chaos. You having, thankfully, the universe is balancing the scales and is also sending you help to this situation. But there is a cautionary PSA on regards to the life lesson for February, and that is that you have a kind of like a feeling that this help is a bit too good to be true, and it's making you hesitant because you feel that, let me get here this cards, you feel that maybe this person that giving you assistance could become a bit controlling of you, and could basically you're concerned that this help comes as a contract in which you feel bounded to it in a way that you're not ready to feel bounded by that. You feel that there's, although you're very grateful for the help and everything, you still, and if it's true, if it's a contract, if it's a situation, if it's someone that's giving you help, then meditate well on what are the conditions of this contract or the conditions of this help, and that you feel you have free will. Like, because I mean, just because someone is helping you doesn't mean that well, of course, it depends on which situation you are, because beggars can be choosers. It depends on the situation where you're at. Sometimes you don't really have a choice. You just are receiving help, and you just have to go through with the contract that you've been presented. But if you have a chance to be able to negotiate the terms in which this help is being offered to you, that would be really fantastic. Because I ask for more clarifying cards. Okay, let me move a bit the setting again so that I can I'm going to show you larger cards now. Because this is just like the little cards are for these tiny cards. I use them to show you the whole month and the information of the whole month. Now remember that sometimes, even if you're checking only your ascendant, maybe you might have the influence of the other time frames of the month, so just check them out as well to see if the other ones resonate more. This one, actually, I feel in particular could be related to the people in the, let's see if we have a good light, because it's beginning to get dark and the light is changing. What I see is there's a person, probably it could be a woman. I'm going to show you the cards here. Let's see. No, I need farther focus. Okay, here. All right. So we have, this is you thinking about this offer that's been given to you by this person that is probably doing really well in life. It could be a woman, it could be your mother, it could be your mother-in-law, it could be a businesswoman, it could be, I don't know, your godmother, or it could be someone who's it could be a guy, a man that is very abundant, and he's very like warm-hearted and a good person. It could be a man as well. So you're thinking about the help that is being offered by this person, but and I again here I see the energy of you are being concerned that you're signing your soul to the devil, and it's going to be too much of a contract, that it's going to be very stifling or very strict, and so that's really a concern of you, if with this help you're actually giving your soul to the devil. So that's something that you're it's either you're concerned about it, or you should be investigating about it. Of course, don't get paranoid. This might not be you, this might not be your case, but if it is, then if it feels that it resonates, then do play it by ear, by the advice, and check if it's actually advice that it is quite pertinent to you. So you are investigating, and the recommendation is that, of course, you want to see the light of day, you want to be happy, you want to have peace and bliss and joy, and not have to have all the conflicts that you might be going on, or like the chaotic energy that's going on. And the recommendation is that you do some good research on regards to how can you achieve this happiness, the good results that you're looking after, with the help that this person is providing you, or it might be even a company or an enterprise. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person. Just make sure that that you get creative. Here, what you're getting here is a call to get creative, to find like a middle ground, or a place for negotiation, so that the contract doesn't feel stifling to you, and it won't present future conflicts or future chaos in your life. So the calling is that, to get creative, and to dig deep, and think about the fine print of this help or this contract. And at the end, I think you have good possibilities of actually finding something balanced, because this is a nice card. It's a card of actually Aries and Venus, and it's actually the card of the next set of people that are born from April 10 to the 19, and you get exactly this, the energy of Aries and Venus. And this means that it's a place where, or the energies are a conjunction of Aries, which is a doer. It's the starter of the zodiac, the one that gets things done. And as well, but it's balanced with Venus, and Venus is about the things where our heart is. So it's a balance of putting your heart, or doing the job that your heart calls you to do, or something that you feel passionate about, that you can actually marry. So just be creative on finding a solution between this aid that you're going to get and this situation that's a bit chaotic. That whatever it's been offered to you, it's in a creative way. It really is assisting you without getting you compromised, or putting you between a rock and a hard place. And if you put really, like, just think, whatever you're gonna do, just analyze it through your heart. Put your heart into it, and like um, your best wishes, so that it happens in the best way possible for everybody, in a good and light-hearted way, and you have good chances of making this contract really happen, like happen properly for you, where you feel happy, where you feel successful, where you feel you're meeting everybody's requirements, and the contract and what's requested from you is meeting all the requirements. So that would be for you, Aries, who are born from March 31st to April 9, with the influence of the sun. Let's see. Okay, for you, Aries, that are born from April 10 to the 19, your cards are the influence of the tarot cards for your life and for the life lessons throughout your life are Queen of Wands and the Four of Wands. Now, these two energies, you're actually under the influence of Venus, apart from, of course, Mars, which is the ruling planet for Aries. You also have the influence, for the people born during that time, you have the influence of Venus. And these two energies, like the Queen of Wands here, uh, apart from having that energy of Venus, she also has that energy of Pisces. So there's a bit of an energy of her, of the humanitarian, the compassionate, of being solidarious towards those that are in help. It could be, this could reflect in your life that you're actually maybe a person that whenever someone in your neighborhood or in your family has a problem, you're the first one to be there to help them out. That might be something reflected on you, on your chart. Now, these two energies as well, what these two represent, the Queen of Wands, she manifests her reality because her passions burn so bright and so hot that she has no other alternative but to make them a reality, to make her desires, her passions a reality. And this goes along pretty well with the energy of the Four of Wands, which is the energy of marriage or celebrations. And of course, what other energy wouldn't, I mean, that's actually the perfect energy, or the energy requirement for someone to decide they want to marry someone else, is that your passion for them burns so hot. And it's not only passion, it's a passion, of course, a carnal passion, but it's also a very heartful passion, and a passion in your mind as well, that all you want, that you know for sure, you have the full conviction that this ex person, or whatever their name is, or the she or the he in your life, is the person that you want in your life. So this is the kind of energy at which the influence that you have if you're born from April 10 to the 19 of Venus. So that's the conjunction of when you have Mars and Venus. So you have the doer energy of the Emperor of Aries, along with the passion and where your heart is, because basically we don't go to any war unless our heart is really in that war. I mean, we're not going to give our life in a war unless our heart is into it, and it's into what we're fighting for, and we have full conviction. And that goes for whatever is going to take our life, and that could be from going to a war, or building a company. Is going to take your whole life, and it's going to take your entire life force in a way. You can only really achieve it if you are really passionate about what you're doing. Otherwise, you won't be able to confront really well the battles and the obstacles and the discipline that you need to have in order to finish a war, or see a company through, or see a marriage through, of course, because there's the same thing, war and love, right? There's so many similarities on regards to we have to struggle with our fears, we still have to struggle with our inner child, with our traumas. But when we feel that love that burns so bright, that for whatever, be it someone else that is really important in your life, or your job, or your project, or even a hobby, or your house might be your baby, whatever is it that where your heart is and that you have full commitment to, that is part of your life lesson for this life, either to find it or to keep developing, or this is actually an influence of your personality and the way that you are. So for the month of February, the spiritual life lessons that I have for you, Aries, who are born from April 10th to the 19th under the influence of Venus, uh, is it's quite particular actually. And if you don't know, this is a hagstone. You find them in the ocean or at rivers. This hole was made naturally by the flow of water. They're supposed to be magical and protective, I believe they are, and that you actually can see the fade through them, or you can see through the other worlds, other realms, when you look through these little hole. So I really like it. I collect them actually. So sorry, back to your message for February is that, and I'm just reminding myself of the Hagstone because I had to use it. I was a bit confused on your reading because there's two energies that I see here. Certainly the theme of, because I not only did I get this like 10 cards for the influence that you have, which are all these 10 cards that you see here, which I'll be explaining on the ones underneath. I also got another set of cards as clarifiers for this energy, and whatever card I was getting a repeater card, that means that that's like the basic or the biggest theme of where the energy is going on your reading. So in this case, let me see if I put in the right focus so we see the large cards too. Okay, no, it has to be taller. All right, so we have this repeating energy when I ask for signifiers. This is the Ace of Wands. This is the truth, the cutting truth, or even either hearing the truth or having to say the truth. Now, next to the card of the World, which is a card of travel and movement, and the Page of Swords, this combination of this three cards, what I'm thinking is that you heard something over the grapevine, you realized something, or you investigated something and you came upon the truth, or it could be your own truth. It could be something, I don't know, something important, maybe related to your family life, related to your work, or related to your own self. This could also be a self-realization about maybe you were investigating about whatever subject, and while you were investigating you had like an epiphany. Oh my god, I have not realized this truth about myself. Or that could be your case, or it could be someone, or you find out the truth like in a gossip about some situation in your life. So there's two the two energies about this truth that you found. One is that I think this is more of like the personal truth that you found, like a realization, like an epiphany. Okay, so I'm going to move the lens this way so we can see them closer. This energy seems to, for this influence that I'm seeing here with the little cards, whatever truth you came upon, it really unlocked or unblocked you from a time of you were meditating, like suspended, like on hold, like on limbo, thinking about whatever situation that this is related to. And this was causing you, like this, that you were meditating a lot, was causing you a lot of inner conflict. You had a lot of doubts because this is the Seven of Wands, and that's a card of fighting your own ego. It's actually a card of has the influence of Mars and Leo having to do a lot with the ego a lot of times. And this truth kind of unblocks you or sets things in motion and gets you thinking, whatever this happened, and this is going to be very different for everybody because it's a very specific and particular message. Whatever that truth that you came upon is going to have a reaction of making you question or making you plan that. Again, it goes along pretty well with the influence of the cards you have of the Queen of Wands and the Four of Wands, that you want to manifest something that you love. And this reality got you thinking, what is it that you want to manifest? Something that you love, that you want pleasure in your life. Either this could be you want to have a comfortable, pleasurable life from the income that you get from your work, or maybe gets you thinking that you should start maybe a side job, so you can get to that level of comfort of that you want to be at, or so that you can travel around like you always wanted. So it gets you thinking, whatever truth you realize here, either it's an inner truth or some truth that you hear and it kind of impresses you. It gets you thinking about this. How can I manifest that pleasure and that comfort in my life? Because this card is of comfort. I mean, you have no concerns, you can enjoy the day. I mean, you look at the sunset, it's full of the fruits of your labor, and you're pretty pleased with what's going on. And this, of course, is it's related to the next cards that you see here, which is the Three of Pentacles, which is about building things. It's about building a solid structure. It's about planning and scheming, but getting pretty serious. Like, this is when you're building a home and you're already signing the details with the architect. That's kind of like the level of the Three of Pentacles. And the Eight of Wands, which is about messages. And then we have here the energy of messages of the Ace of Cups, which is true love, the Queen of Cups, and the Two of Cups. So this could be a message for you. This could be, if you're married, it could mean that you wanna manifest this luxury in your life, so you can offer it to your special other, and you can maybe go on a honeymoon, or maybe you want to make fulfill their dreams of that house that they always wanted. It could be related to a house as well. Maybe you realize that it's actually possible for you to buy that house. Of course, whatever advice you hear here in any of my readings, you have to double check with reality if it's what's true and what's not. This is just like some like hot leads and tips that you are going to be the one who are going to be the judge if they resonate with your life or not. But here, as I said, I see that influence of the people who are born on April 10th to the 19th under the influence of Venus. I do see here an energy of love, of actually romantic love. So as I said, if you're married, it could be that you want to build something nicer for you and your husband or your wife, or it could mean that you realized with whom you want to make your life with, who you want to spend the rest of your life with, who you want to create a future with, and that after this realization, after this epiphany that you had from this truth that you heard, or this truth that you found from this insight that you might have had from your inner world, of course. So insight and inner world, that's quite redundant, but you know what I mean. From searching deep inside, you realized where your heart is, who is the queen of your heart, and that you want to marry them. And this is reinforced with the next cards, which are the cards of the Ace of Wands, which is full passion. Again, here we have more cards that are of the element of fire, and the element of Wands, which is about our inspiration and turning our passions into reality. It's an energy that gets things moving and gets things done. And then we have the Star, which is of course a great card. It's about hope, it's about divine providence, it's about the things that make us feel like meaningful things in our life. And then the Three of Cups, this all feels like marriage, like a marriage proposal, or you want to get serious with someone, you want to live with them, you realize where your heart is. Now, this again, it could be work, it could be some project that has your heart, and you realize that you want that luxury, you want to have that life where you actually enjoy, you produce and you have pleasure at the same time, or it's a job that is not like draining, or it's actually a very kind of nice and a dream come true kind of job that creates a lot of money, and you decided that now it's time for you to do it, and you get things going. I mean, you build very solid plans, and then you immediately start with the action. So that really has a really a good positive outcome, a very possible good outcome because of the mixture of those energies. So either be it that you're following your passions, could be your projects, your work, and a business that you wanted to start, and it could even be something like you wanted to start a garden or vegetable garden. It doesn't have to be anything super ambitious either, but it's just, or maybe it's just that you want to start thinking about your retirement plan, depending on what age you are, and why not retire when you're young, right? If you can, and you can figure it out. And then the other energy for the other people that realize some truths, I see that definitely was not what you expected. It kind of broke your heart. There's another card here. I'm gonna pull this one out. The truth that you heard from, you kind of try to keep your best face when you were told about this truth, but in reality it got you thinking about a lot of things, and it wasn't a pleasant truth that you found out. Maybe what you found out has to do with, here's someone breaking the rules, someone being treacherous, someone bending the rules in their favor, and just getting a win, like the Five of Swords, winning regardless of how you win. I mean, where the end justifies the means. So maybe it was a situation like that broke your heart, and where it feels, let's see, these are the other cards. Again, it feels that the person, they won using trickery and victory and illusion, and they were called out by what they did. But anyways, this truth still, and I ask if it made any difference to you. I mean, because you had like the energy for the ones that resonate in that way, that whatever news you got, it shook your ground and made you feel uncomfortable, and you had to put your best face when they told you. I asked if there was anything wrong about it, and or that you needed to be careful or watchful for, and basically the answer is no. Again, you still have a good with these cards, and these are the same that are actually on, they're part of your cards. The Queen of Wands is manifesting your reality. The Nine of Pentacles you got on the reading for the other influence, and the Two of Cups as well. So I think this gets you moving to